Hi guys, this is an evaluation of the Tesla Ghost Box session that we did last night on Sunday the 2nd of February 2020 using the FCD Mark 4 Plus Adjust Ghost Box portal. I conducted the experiment myself and I was absolutely, even as the session was, it was a live session, so it was sweeping radio, so we had no control at all. There were no apps, no sound banks or anything like that. It was just live sweeping snippets of FM based radio that were hopefully being influenced by spirit coming through the box, so we had no control over whatever was coming through at all. I have to admit, because there is I have to be honest about this, I have got had a little bit of pre-knowledge about a picked Tesla in particular, because I do know something about the person when he was alive, and use some details. Obviously I was watching out for those details as words came through the box, and jotted them down. We did get a lot of other snippets of words and odd words and phrases and things that did come through the box, and I wrote everything down. Here I have a piece of paper that I wrote at the time of the session. You'll see there all different bits of words and things. And other people that were on the live session that were taking part in it, other friends on Facebook Live, were also noting in the comments column what they found when they listened. And you'll see that most of these very relevant validations, I'm happy to say, especially when we were focusing on the attempted contact with Nikola Tesla, that amazing. I mean, just amazing. These people that are saying, well, ghost boxes are just giving through random information, especially, and then those that say, well, it's using just radio snippets. How can any spirit control that? It's just coming from radio. Well, you'll see that this session seems to prove the point and weigh heavily, as far as I'm concerned, in the other direction. And that's not just because I'm a ghost box builder. In fact, if I didn't know that this could happen, I wouldn't bother building ghost boxes. The very fact that I do know that spirit energy can also use and manipulate radio waves to bring through information with meaning is the reason why I build them primarily. Okay, so yeah, let's have a look at what we got through. Very early, the thing is, you can actually go back over, because we're recording now on Facebook of the actual session, so you can go over that yourselves and see that what I'm saying here is each of these words is there as it comes through on the box itself. Okay, so you can validate that yourself. It's not that I'm telling you things now and you can't actually confirm that it's, it is there still. And on the FCD website, I will be posting the actual video after it's been downloaded onto the website, so that anybody at any time can look at these words and sounds that have come through. Okay. In other words, I'm saying that before the naysayers and the people that have attacked me in the past just come through and say he's made all this up as a con man and all this rubbish, they keep saying you can have a look at this yourself and make up your own mind, okay? Because you can see the live evidence there. Right, well, let's have a look at what we got. I'm not going to make this video very long, because I've got such a lot of builds to do at the moment here at FCD that I'm hoping to do more of these sessions, but it's going to be, on an irregular basis when I can get the time, really. But anyway, let's see what we've got. The first word very early on in the session that came through that really came out strong, and if you again look at the video, you'll see it, is the word Baltimore. Very clear, Baltimore, as in the location, the place. And our friends in the US that will be watching this video and have worked with ghost boxes will know that, because the subject was Nikola Tesla, everything I'm putting down here is very relevant to Nikola Tesla. And unless you know about him or are him or know about the subject matter, these just randomly, if you weren't doing Tesla and Baltimore came up, it could mean anything. But I'm just to read you this. Baltimore came up, and my research, and I'm sure others can validate this with their own research and maybe give other evidence towards it, tells us that I found this really interesting because this comes straight back to me. I've got my T-shirt on today that's got my UFO on it, and at the time when Tesla was alive, in the 1940s, really, rather than 30s, he had a few friends that were into the UFO subject back then, the flying saucer subject, and some of these people were actually trying to take information that they claimed were coming from other worlds and build, and it's claimed that this person that I'm going to tell you about in a minute that fits in with the Baltimore place, the location, was a very good friend of Tesla's. He may have been coming through in spirit. He may have got in there first on the box, called Otis T. Carr. And Otis T. Carr was also claimed that he actually made an anti-gravity machine, that saucer type thing, that was able to fly from one location to another through dimensional states. And really interesting. Again, there's lots of information out there on the net about Otis T. Carr. I recommend anybody read up on this. But Tesla was obviously very connected with him, and another person that you'll see in a minute that amazingly connects with the session. And the chances of it, especially that I'm based here in the UK, and I'm going to be picking up UK local radio waves basically through the box. The chances of these words coming up and their meanings are very, very slim indeed. Okay, so we've got Baltimore. I've written down here from Tesla friend Otis T. Carr invented his own anti-gravity device, and he was from Baltimore. Well, that's amazing, isn't it? But also, you'll see that I called the session Nikola Tesla, Return of the Dove. Now, the story about that is that after Tesla died, his close friends again were having a meeting or something after he died in his apartment. And a dove, he'd said that, at some point that there would be evidence of the afterlife from, and a dove appeared on the window ledge of the apartment, high-rise apartment, the window ledge outside. And these people noticed this dove that was there and always had called Tesla the dove, which is odd. There are reasons for that that go into the UFO story and this and the other, which you can actually you can read in my book, and there's many other, like I say, snippets of information on the internet about this. And she was called Margaret Storm, who wrote just in 1956 a book about Tesla, but about his otherworldly connection, basically, called Return of the Dove. And where was that written? Baltimore. So there we have that. I found that fascinating. When that came through, it sent a shiver up my spine. I just couldn't believe that. Okay, moving on then, we kept getting numbers come through at random points. And a lot of the numbers seem to be 3, 30, 9. You'll see if you look down the thing, you'll see that Tesla quoted once, and again, you can research this on there, that if you only knew the power of the numbers 3, 6, and 9, you would be able to hold all the secrets to the universe. And there have been scientists and researchers today that if you go on YouTube and put that in, you'll find that a lot of the combinations of those numbers, and that do seem to make up Fibonacci type, scientific formula that's found in nature, that's found in all sorts of different aspects of our reality. And it seemed to be that at some point Tesla had realised this and found it important enough to put through. So it didn't surprise me that we were getting 30 come through, 30, 9, and these other numbers that seem to be divisions of 3, rather than just any random number like 8 or 11 or that type of thing. So that was really interesting as well. I don't put too much credence on that because numbers do come through quite a lot, and it could mean a lot of things. I mean, 30 could mean something happened to somebody at 30 years old. It had nothing to do with Tesla, because you do find all the spirits who try to come in on these sessions and you don't know where all the sources are coming from. But I thought it was worth mentioning that anyway. Now, somebody had asked, or I'd asked during the session, something about, what was your main sort of intention in life, in your work sort of thing. That's what I was hinting at. And we kept getting through words like, a phrase at first, power of light and light kept coming through several times, and different people, 2 or 3 people in the Facebook live session heard this word light or put it down at the same time. So it's not just one person saying it. It has been heard, by more than one person. And this is interesting as well, because when you look into Tesla's earlier work, he was actually obsessed with this wireless connection thing, as we all know, but he also wanted to bring about, and he did, there was supposed to be an experiment where it was proved that you could actually send power to light up incandescent light bulbs through the ground, through basically earth energy, but in a way. Yeah, I think he was hinting at that all the time, that could be something that we could have done and could still do, basically, rather than use cables and wires to send through electricity. As you know, he was hinting at this for light, power of light, and what light can do. He even thought that there was a way of making light that was actually nearly the same, 99.9% nearly the same as natural sunlight, which would give us other benefits other than just being a light source that lights up a room. It would actually give us the benefits of the vitamins and that type of thing that comes through from the sunlight itself. So probably the downside as well with cancer and things like that. But anyway, there was that. And what I found from that was that when the power of light phrase came up and light came up, he claimed it produced light without the aid of wires, by using electrical oscillators, basically, to generate power up energy that is naturally found in the environment. This does connect with Tesla, without a shadow of a doubt. And it wasn't that we were getting that amongst millions of other random words. They were coming up quite closely after we'd asked the question, as you'll see when you watch the live session, basically. Now, this one, even, I'm going to mention his name because he's very interested, I can tell, in the FCD devices, and he has actually bought from me, and he's a lovely chap from what I can see. Keith Skidmore. He instantly put a thing on when he realised what was happening here. We kept getting in the same. I'd asked the question, you'll see, but the question was slightly different to the answer, in that I'd asked, when was you born? Because I did know the date of that, 10th of July 1856, and was waiting to see if any information pertaining to that date would come out. But what we got instead each time were the words Croat and Kraut, right? Several times coming through the box. Croat and Kraut. And Keith had picked up on this, and I had at the time, and knew straight away what it meant. Well, Kraut obviously is somebody that's native to Croatia, the place Croatia, right? And Nikola Tesla was born on that date, but he was born in the Austrian Empire, which is now Croatia, basically. So he was born in Croatia. Couldn't be any more clear. He is a Croat. He was a Croat. Okay, so that amazing again. It could have been anywhere, couldn't it, basically? But that came through very, very clear. Okay, and then I'm just going to finish off with the last most important thing. There are other things there which I probably need a bit more research, and maybe I can put them out there for other people to look at. But another thing that kept coming up was the word TESS, TESS, TESS. There was a although they were saying it, you could hear the double S at the end of it, like TESS. You got that noise at the end of it all the time. And again, a few of the people listening in the live chat kept picking up on this. And I was wondering, I wonder if it's a nickname for Tesla. Like people call me Nige instead of Nigel. Call him Tess at his time. But I've done a bit of research on the net, couldn't find anything to back that up. But you can imagine it wouldn't be that to his friends. They may have called him Tess. You don't know. But there's something more interesting, and he likes detail, does Tesla. He always liked a lot of detail, and he did that because he wanted to bring over truths, basically. He was a truth seeker in a lot of different ways. And I think this is where it's really relevant. This isn't me. I found this out, so it isn't me taking claim for this, but you'll see in a minute that this is really, really interesting. And I think what we were doing there, we're giving us a bit of work to do, the actual spirit of Nikola Tesla. And the word Tess, with that double S sounding at the end, is actually needed. If you test like that as pronounced, is necessary. And this is taken off the internet. It's people that have looked at this. Let me give you an idea. If I write down Tesla, the word Tesla, and you have never heard that before, say you come from a different country or whatever, there is a chance that you could say Tesla because it's got an E in there, Tesla. Okay, but Tess is actually needed, that double S sound to make it I hope this makes sense, to make you say Tess at the beginning of the word. It's pronounced, it's necessary to say Tesla correctly because it makes you say Tesla. I think that's really interesting. Again, that's almost like another validation that's come through. It may have been that it's trying to say the whole word Tesla, but could only get through Tess, because I know how much energy it takes for spirit to actually get these. They're manipulating real words that are coming from this earthly origin to change them into meaning for our own, and sometimes they don't get the full word come through. So you have to use your, brain a bit and work these things out. It's not always crystal clear, but all in all, I do think it was a really good session. A lot of people enjoyed it. I mean, I'm going to be doing more like this. It doesn't always have to be a celebrity. It could be somebody that maybe you know that passed over into the afterlife, and you know a lot of information about them. You'd like me to actually try and contact them, and in this way through the box, and see if we can get any relevant information through it that has meaning to you. I will be doing these sessions. I'm very busy with the builds at the moment, the FCD Ghost Box builds. But when I do get time, because this is my main love, is really investigating and getting evidence and things. We will be doing more sessions like this, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got as much information about it that I got. I mean, that evidence there, that validated evidence, is spot on. As far as I'm concerned, you may have a different view, but no doubt about it. There are certain, especially the place, Baltimore, and the Croatia aspect, I think is too much of a coincidence. Okay, well, thanks for watching, and let me know what you think. Okay, bye.